Jesus. Okay. Thirsty now? Okay. What's going on, guys? My name is Brian, also known as ThatJournaling today. What's going on, guys? My name is Brian, also known as ThatJournalingGuy, and today we have another tier list. And this one might be a little bit more important than the other one we did, because this one is like, we're gonna hurt feelings. I really feel like we're gonna hurt some feelings because everybody has a personal preference when it comes to journals, and I don't know, you know, I'm trying to look at it as objectively as possible, but obviously I have my own preferences. So before you go any farther into this video, just know that all of these are opinions, and my opinions and all the opinions are my own. So if you're gonna shoot me over it, you know, okay, I just want you to know that. So let's get right into it. I'm actually kind of excited. So what I didn't get every single journal or notebook that exists. Okay, I tried to find the top most used journals in our community. So I might have missed yours, or I might not have. Hopefully I got a good scope of what we see and what everybody is using. So we have a good representation of what this tier list could be. So let's get into it. We're gonna switch audio now in 3, 2, 1. Okay, so now we're listening to this. Hopefully it's just as clear on this, but here we've got the tier list. Again, it's S, A, B, C, D, and obviously S being like God tier. Then we have A, which is going to be the very good tier. Then we have B, we have the good tier. So then C, the okay tier, and the D, not good, like not great. It's nothing. It's not good. Don't use it. Stay away. So we got God tier, very good, good, okay, not great. That's how we're going to try to rate these journals. Okay. So let's start with the first one. For the first one, we got the Amanda Rach Lee notebook. Now, I just did a review on my channel of her planner, but she does have a notebook that kind of has the same quality. So for the Amanda Rach Lee journal, or like notebook itself, I'm gonna place that in the A tier. You know, it's off to a good start. The A tier, it is up to the standard of what all the other notebooks in the industry were right now, and I had no real problem with it, to be honest. The paper quality was good. It was bright. It was well printed. I liked it, and honestly, you know, it's pretty well done, and the quality is there. For the next one, we have the Amazon Basics notebook. So I'm not sure why they might be a little bit difficult to find now, but not too long ago, you know, Amazon Basics had like their own line of notebooks. Now they've hidden it behind a whole bunch of other kinds of journals and notebooks when you look up like dotted notebooks and stuff like that. I'm not sure why, but it feels like a Moleskine knockoff. It's not the best in its price range, and there are a lot of spine problems that I had when using this notebook. So I'm gonna go C. It's okay, but it's not like good. Okay, the next we got the Archer and Olive. This probably isn't a question if you've been looking at my channel at all. I am not biased. Okay, I'm biased because I love it, but not because like they sponsor me or I have any kind of connection with them. I just love their journals. Like, it is a luxury brand journal. It is a bit expensive, but the way that the journals are stitched together, they use thread stitching, they open up perfectly on any page that you can imagine, and that I prioritize that so highly, you don't understand. Like, that is such a good quality for a journal to have, for me personally, that I haven't experienced that before, and it's really nice. Not to mention they have so many choices and the nice minimal covers. Like, it's Chef's kiss. So that is my comparison for S tier. Like, that is, I consider that an S tier journal notebook. Yeah, I do. And I'm an Archer and Olive fanboy for their journals. Not so much their acrylographs, but their journals. Couldn't recommend them enough if you're willing to invest a little bit of the money. And the company's great. Okay. I also, if you follow this channel at all, I got beef with Artist Loft. Like, me and Artist Loft, we just don't get along. Because, like, Artist Loft is just doo-doo in a cup 90% of the time. But the one thing I can genuinely recommend from their whole line of products is going to be their dotted journal. I'll put that B tier. It's good. And, like, for the price, you really can't beat it. It's very inexpensive, and honestly, it's probably one of my first choices when recommending a notebook or a journal to somebody who's just starting out, like, bullet journaling and doesn't want to really commit to anything too crazy yet. So they want to try out the system, they want to explore their creativity a bit, but they don't want to get too deep into the hobby. This is definitely one of the first notebooks that I recommend. The only thing is, like, it has pretty thin pages, but other than that, it is a great beginner journal. And I personally have a few of them because I can just use them to jot down stuff. It's good. It's good. For the next one, we've got the Clever Fox journal. And you're probably like, whoa, Bryant, they have journals? I'm like, yes, they do. You've probably heard of the Clever Fox planner, which is wildly popular. But yeah, they have their own notebooks. And I think they're pretty attractive notebooks. Like, in terms of the aesthetic and the look, they just look cool. Kind of reminiscent of, like, Scribbles That Matter. They have all these little, like scribbles on the covers. They come in multiple colors. They're fun. They're pretty good. And I will put them in the B tier. It's alright. It's alright. You know, it's alright. It's alright. Then we've got the composition notebooks. Listen, this is one of those, like, you can use it, but, like, why would you? You know? Like, I get it, but I don't. Like, what? There's just no pros to using a composition notebook. Like, zero. Don't do it. Don't do it to yourself. Watch this video for other ones that are just a little bit more expensive, but exponentially better. Don't stay away from composition notebooks. So for the next one, we've got Dingbats. So the Dingbats is actually a really good journal. Like, it's actually one of my favorite. It is more expensive than most of these on this list, but I really kind of like the whole, like, mission behind the company. They've got, like, you know, the whole the whole eco-friendly vibe for them. Like, all of their stuff is, like, degradable, it's recyclable, degradable, and recyclable. They've got, like, the textured cover, and they've got this really nice minimal, like, design for their covers, which is, it's awesome. And I'm really starting to notice that seems to be the theme that's going on with the whole, like, new journals, new notebooks, like the whole, like, very tiny little minimal covers and designs. I'm seeing that all over the place, like Notebook Therapy, Archer and Olive, the Dingbats. I'm trying to think what else. Even, like, the Clever Fox, just logo in the front. It's very minimal. It's very, nobody's trying to make anything crazy, which is fine, because, like, those kind of notebooks you can use for, like, professional use or personal use. Professional use or personal use. So it goes pretty well. But the Dingbats are really good. I would put that in A. Would I use it personally every day? Not necessarily, not considering how many other notebooks are in this category, in my opinion, which we will get to. But it's pretty good. It's pretty good. For the next one, for some reason also very popular and kind of has its own niche community, are field notes. The field notes are meant to be like these pocket-sized, like, little notebooks that you can carry in your back pocket. Pretty much, you know, write down everything and anything that you need whenever you need it. They're relatively small. I think it's only like 48 pages, but they're like hella durable, and they have a very utilitarian aspect, like aesthetic, you know, like it doesn't look nice, but it's very functional and it's very useful for you know, the purpose it's trying to serve. So I'm gonna put it in B tier. They have plenty of options of like spiral bound notebooks, spiral bound like little notepads. They just have threaded thread stitch little notebooks that you can carry too. It's not bad. If you're somebody that needs to have something to write in at all times, I would recommend it. I personally just carry a small little moleskin with me everywhere. This is what hangs out in my back pocket all the time. I've had no problems with it. Okay, the next one is a fan favorite. It is very, very popular too, and that's the Hobonichi. They have the Hobonichi Techo like planners, and then Hobonichi has its own brand of notebooks too, and they are wildly popular as well. I personally really enjoyed it. It's a very unique experience writing in a Hobonichi notebook, but that experience does not warrant the price required to get, you know, one of these planners or notebooks, because they're expensive. They're like $37 and they don't feel durable at all, and it's hard for me to justify that price for something that doesn't feel worthy of the price. It is a lot of fun to use, and personally I think it's a really good notebook, but it's not worth the price. So I'm gonna put that in the B tier. It's good. If you have it, you'll use it, you'll most likely really enjoy the experience, but I think for the money that you're paying, you can get something better. The next one, we're gonna have the Lemon. I've said Lemon, but I'm not really sure if that's how you say it. This for me is kind of like a Moleskine knockoff. Like what you see in a Moleskine, you could expect to see from Lemon, and it's okay. Nothing spectacular about it. It's got the elastic bands, got the ribbons. It's okay. So gonna put it in the B tier. As you can see, there's a lot of B tier going on here. There's a lot of B tier. It's a lot of okays, you know? Okay, for the next one, we've got my baby, the Leuchtturm 1917. This is like the old reliable. There's a reason why it's so popular. I'm popping it on the S tier because the quality is really good. It's a notebook that I can come back to no matter where I've been or what notebook I've been with. I can come back to her and she will still treat me with love. Yeah, the Leuchtturm 1917, they have remained consistent with their quality over a pretty long period of time. They have great paper quality. They have specific bullet journals. They have the official bullet journal, and there's a reason for that. Paper quality is good. Got the pockets, multiple ribbons, the elastic. It's hella durable, hardcover. It's pretty good. I would recommend this, and I still use this today for so many things. I think the price is great for it. I think it's worth it. 100% S tier. We've got the Littlemore. Okay, the Littlemore notebook is weird because it's good, right? It's good. But what makes it unique is the sizing choice. It is like 7 inches by 5.5, and it kind of looks a little stubby and square, but it's not square. It's like a little bit longer than square, and it's weird. It's really weird, but I like it. It feels like it would be just the perfect size for a bullet journal that you can just like carry anywhere and like take it with you anywhere. Again, nothing spectacular about it. The covers are really nice. They have plenty of colors for you to choose from, but it's okay. That's B tier. Okay, so the next one we're going to talk about is the Midori Traveler's Notebook, like their Traveler's Journal series. Dude, I am in love with everything about this like system. Like it is just such a fun and unique experience to write in a traveler's notebook. Not to mention it's a very unique aesthetic. I don't know if you guys follow anybody on Instagram that has like a traveler's journal. Like just look at these pictures. I'll post them right here. Like bink, 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 bink. All these, like, they look fantastic. I'm in love with the aesthetic. There's so many ways to customize them. It's a bit expensive to get into, but you can use it as a planner. You could use it as a diary. You could use it as travel, like to document your travel. It's everything you could want in a system to organize whatever you need. I mean, I guess you could say that about any notebook, but specifically these, it's just fun. And there's so many ways to customize everything. There's so many things you could buy. I love it, and I had so much fun documenting my trip to Japan in one of these, and I would really recommend it. So I'm gonna put the travel journal in the S tier, or the A tier. I mean, no, I should put it in the S tier. It's an S tier type system and notebook. The quality seems great. You can use anything and everything that you need in terms of pens, colors, paper. S tier. The next one we're going to do is the minimalism notebooks. So, it's cheap. Okay. These minimalism, like notebooks are very cheap, and you can absolutely feel that in its quality. Everything is cheap about it. The paper isn't good. It's not like best in class out of any of these journals, even in the same price range. And something that I specifically had trouble with when I bought two of them was that the binding was terrible. Like I just like cracked the backs, like the spine opening it, and then it like creased. But like terribly. Like even it like opened up. It was terrible. I couldn't recommend this to anybody. I'm gonna say D tier. Don't spend your money on it. Get something else. We got the Moleskine. Again, these were the first journals that I ever used in order to start bullet journaling. They are my love. I'm going to put them in A tier. Great quality. Little bit, the paper feels a little bit thin. They are a little expensive, but again, you have so many options in terms of the size and the type of paper that you want to use, like gridded, dots, lined, that you can't go wrong using a Moleskine. A lot of fun to use, easy to jump into. Everything you could expect from a good quality journal. The next one is the Muji notebook. So Muji is also a Japanese line or a Japanese brand that happens to carry stationery, and you could see that with their pens. Like I specifically even have like their gel pens. They have notebooks. They have all types of stuff. Their notebooks are really fun to use. Again, something about the paper that they use, it just hits different. Like the paper quality just hits different, and your pens glide through. The only thing is that with these notebooks, you're going to be creasing the hell out of the spine because it does not open up too well, and the covers aren't durable. It's good maybe for like a class, if you're like taking notes in a class. I'm going to go with B tier. That one's B tier. For the next one, we've got the Northbooks. That's C tier. Just straight up C tier. It's like average quality for not the average price. For the price that it's at, it means poor quality. So it's not worth it. Don't get the Northbooks. Notebook Therapy. Now, Notebook Therapy is like another brand of journals that I would consider like luxury journals because they're a bit expensive, but they're really good quality notebooks. And like when I'm going to make a comparison, like for another comparison notebook video, I'm going to make the comparison between Archer and Olive and Notebook Therapy because I feel like they're in very, very similar like categories. Notebook Therapy is a very, very good notebook and journal. So I'm going to put that S tier. it's really nice. I'm just saying, if I didn't use Archer and Olive, I would probably use a notebook therapy as my next one. But I'm thinking about using a traveler's journal for next year because I love the aesthetic that much. But okay, let's go back to what we were doing. The Nuna. Okay, the Nuna journal has a really big following too. Why? I don't know, because I just feel like there's a lot of things wrong with it. Like the one I have, at least, like it doesn't have an elastic band to hold it together. It doesn't have ribbons. The paper quality is decent at best. The covers warp out of nowhere. I just had it in my drawer and it just warped in. I'm not personally a fan of the aesthetic. Like, it's like very big, like the way they decorate them. It's like the entire design takes up the entire notebook. It's not my cup of tea. Like, even when you like open it, it's not my thing. I don't see it. I think they're hella expensive. I can't recommend them to anybody, and I think you have to have a really specific taste to get into the Nunas. So I'm gonna go with C tier. They're usable. They're okay. I'm not gonna be using them probably ever, but I have some. Then we got the Paper Age. Okay, my theory, I don't know why, but Amazon's really pushing Paper Age a lot. So like when you look up a dotted notebook and stuff, this is what's going to come up as like the sponsored. So I had to pick one up when I saw it. Overall, it's very affordable, terrible paper quality, and you get a lot of cool choices of color. That's it. I think my biggest problem really with the paper quality was that the dots, because I got a dotted journal, just felt like they weren't well printed on the page. So it was very faint. Like you really couldn't tell that they were there. And it was used more as a guide than actually seeing them. And the spacing was a little weird too. So C, it's C tier. This one is going to be a little bit weird because this is the cheapest journal that I am presenting to you today. But it is literally one of the best. Like on Amazon right now, you could find this notebook for $5.50. The Poluma journal. Poluma? Like Poluma? The Poluma notebook. They range between $8 and or like $8.99 to like $5.50. And seriously, they have everything. They have like the best qualities of all of these for a more than affordable price. Like, this is a fantastic journal for what it is. Don't quote me on the paper quality 100%, because I have read some things about the fountain pens and might not work too well on them. I don't really use fountain pens, so I didn't really get to test that myself. But for $5.50, could you be mad about that? No. How could you be mad about that? I'm gonna put that in the A tier. And I'm legit saying this journal might have like a comparable quality to a Moleskine for a quarter of the price. I was very impressed. I thought I was going to get a hot pile of doo-doo getting that. That's not necessarily true. For the next one, I got Scribbles That Matter. So the Scribbles That Matter, I did a review also. I fell in love with it. It's actually one that I'm going to be using for live streams. So it is going to be my live stream bullet journal. And I love the quality. I love the company. I love the idea of how this company came to be. Their motto, A+. I'm gonna put that up here in the S tier. Scribbles That Matter is S tier. And personally, one of the big factors of that is the paper weight. It's like 160 grams, but they didn't always used to be like that. They had like 120 grams before. But I personally like the heavier weight, so I'm going to put it S tier just because in general, the build quality it's going to last. The next one, we've got the Rhodia. Okay, the Rhodia was actually the comparison that I did for the Scribbles That Matter. And it was also really good. Like, there was minimal ghosting. There wasn't too much bleeding onto the other side. It was good. The only thing is that it was soft cover. I'm not the biggest fan of soft cover notebooks, especially for like a journal that I plan on keeping for a really long time. I just don't think they're durable enough or gonna last if you don't take care of them. But everything you could expect, you know, the ribbons, the elastic band, they're there, and I'm not gonna shit on them because I think they're actually pretty good. A tier. Okay, this was a notebook that I specifically had to pick up for this video because I had never heard of it, and when I was researching and trying to see what the community really uses, I came across the Stology notebooks. I've read a lot of comparisons of this being very similar to the Hobonichi. So I was like, okay, well, if people use it, I don't know why. So I picked one up. And yeah, you can expect to have the same writing experience with the Stology as you could with the Hobonichi. It was fun, and it has like a date and time at the top that you can circle whenever you're planning your stuff out. It felt a little thin, and the paper quality is like a little light gray too, so it's not completely white. And overall, for the price, I think if you had to pick between the Hobonichi and the Stology, I would pick the Stology because it is very similar in almost every aspect for just a bit cheaper. And I definitely appreciated it, but I'm going to put it in the same category as the Hobonichi, which is B tier. So for the next one, we have the Strathmore like sketchbooks. And when I first started getting to bullet journal, I was like, these are the luxury notebooks. I want one. Like, this was my definition of like a luxury ass notebook. I was like, I want it. I love it. I need it. Truth is, they're really not that great, but I loved it regardless. The only problem is that it is like a faux leather cover, but the way they open up is terrible. Like, it is terrible. It's so frustrating to work with sometimes, and they're a bit expensive, but the paper quality is good. You can expect to use your paints, your like acrylic paints, your watercolor, your fine liners, your tumbos. You can use everything because they're meant for artists. So I had a lot of fun using it. I think it is a pretty good notebook, but can be mildly frustrating to use. So B tier. It's good. It's good. Okay, here we have the Clairefontaine notebook. Also wasn't familiar with before I bought it, like for this video and obviously for a comparison video in the future. And after writing down a few notes and like drawing in it and stuff, I could compare it to a Rhodia. That's probably my best comparison of what you could expect to get from a Clairefontaine notebook, except a little bit less. Like, just in everything that the Rhodia does, expect this to just be a little tiny bit less good. A little bit. But it has like a really sturdy binding, it has the elastic wrap, it's got everything that you're looking for. But I wasn't familiar with this, and apparently it is really popular. And when I went on Instagram and like seeing the notebooks that people use, I found quite a few accounts that really swear by this journal. So I think it's not bad. If I'm gonna put Rhodia on A, I have to just put it on B because I don't think it's good as the Rhodia. So we have a lot of B notebooks, and honestly, I'm proud to see that Artist Loft is up there. But okay, for the last notebook journal that I'm going to show you or talk about is the Macy Lane Co. This is probably one of my favorite notebooks next to Archer and Olive that I've ever gotten. My only complaint with it is that I don't think it's good for fountain pens, like at least specifically my fountain pen with a very like fine nib. It wasn't great. But other than that, I trust this notebook literally with my deepest, darkest, happiest moments of my life. This is such a good quality journal that I have decided to use it as my own personal journal because I think it's going to last so long. Like, that's what I think about the quality of the paper and the cover. And not to mention that they do a great job of personalizing your journal for you. They have like the gold like foil that you can make it say whatever you want, you know, personalize it with your name or a quote, whatever motivates you to use it every day. But it's got the ribbons, it's got the pockets, it's got really nice bright paper. And the company itself, I am a very big fan of. I follow them on Instagram. They're super, super nice. And yeah, this is such a fun writing experience for me that I decided to use it as my personal journal. It's also one of those journals that like opens up really nice to whatever page that you're going to open to or whatever page you're going to use. That's S tier. I would really recommend, if you want something that's going to last a long time and you're looking for longevity when deciding on a planner, I would go for the Macy Lane Co. It's really good. So I hope you enjoyed this video. I hope you got an idea of how I feel about a lot of these, which should be indicative of my reviews that are coming in the near future for them. But this was a lot of fun. I totally want to see if you guys make a list where you guys would place some of these notebooks and journals. Do you have a personal preference? Where do you, if your journal's on here, do you think it was fair where I placed it, or should I have placed it better or in a higher position? But yeah, it was fun. I've got another video like this that's coming out soon for something else, and we'll see how that goes. You should definitely do stationery tier list hashtag on Instagram if you want to do this with me. I will have the link down below and see how you rank your favorite journals. I really appreciate you guys stopping by for today's video. Make sure to follow me on Instagram, and I will catch you guys in the next video. Peace.